Witness for the Prosecution is basically about a man who has committed a murder, or has he. And the main problem with this is his wife actually testifies against him in court, so it has a lot of twists and turns because this is not something that normally happens. She is his alibi for the murder, and she basically turns against him.
Leonard Vole, he's an interesting sort of character. I don't know, I think perhaps the most interesting part of him is to play a man who's approximately my own age but about 40 years in the past. Because I mean, the play was written for the late 50s. I believe we're actually setting it in the early 60s. Just to sort of, I think the reason for that being that there weren't enough men auditioning, so some of the roles had to be regendered as women. So of course, you needed women's liberation to have moved forward a little bit further than where Agatha Christie was writing. But yeah, but it's been. I mean, as for about Leonard. What can I say? I don't know. He's very. There's a lot to him. There's a number of different layers to him, I guess you could say. Probably more so than I've worked with a lot of other characters in the past. So there's a sort of. I mean, when you play any sort of character, there's a lot of balls you've got to keep juggling at once. But I think with Vole, there's at least a couple more going on. I don't know how much I can say without giving away too much. He is the defendant. He's the chief suspect in the case of the murder of Emily French. Yeah, and he doesn't have a huge amount of a case, and certainly a lot less once his wife comes forward to testify against him. So
the femme fatale character in the Billy Wilder film in the 50s was played by Marlene Dietrich, and I think the femme fatale in this, Romaine Vole, the wife of the accused, whenever she is being examined in court, you never kind of know which way she's going to go, whether she's going to be on her husband's side or whether she's going to be against her husband.
I love Romaine's intelligence. She's a very smart, sassy woman, and she just uses I think she uses her femininity and her sexuality really well. She's living in this time where men don't treat women very well. You know, they thought women were sort of almost evil or really manipulative, and also really unintelligent. So for her, living in that time, she's this real sassy, intelligent, sexual woman. She just does so well with what she can in that time frame, because I think that she's a completely different kind of person for them to all see and listen to and talk to, and the fact that she's actually going around, I don't know what I can say and what I can't say, but
right, we'll edit.
Yeah, so the fact that she's going around and she's kind of like, she's toying with everyone and manipulating everyone, and I think she's got it in the bag the whole time. Like, she's just in control. She just knows what's going on, and she knows exactly how to get what she wants. She's really good at that, and I love that about her. And I also think that the audience, even though she comes across as quite like brutal, I think the audience will be able to see that she's got quite a lot of softness to her.
It was originally written in the 50s and set in 1955, so we've updated it a little bit to the early 60s. And I guess some of the drama of a courtroom has been lost over the years, because in the 50s the Old Bailey would have been quite something to have seen. And not many people would have seen the inside of an Old Bailey, probably, thankfully. So now through Boston Legal and the Bill and all the other stuff that we've had over the years on TV, it's not quite as dramatic as that, but the action and the story is still pretty dramatic, so that's great.
Yeah, I played Judge Wainwright, who's it's a sort of a smaller character part, but it's quite pivotal because obviously he holds sway in the courtroom scenes, and I just love those type of roles, because at my mature age they're ideal for learning lines and playing a character.
My character is a fairly simple one, but I think he's actually the voice of the community, because he's the one that actually says yes or no, whether he's the juror basically.
Okay.
So he's the guy that says whether the person's innocent or guilty. And so I basically, I'm part of the audience, I think, and so I actually I take in all the evidence, and I think I'm a bit of usually plays actually have audience participation. Well, I think I'm actually playing that part where I'm actually the audience, I think, and so I'm the one at the end that says not guilty, but I don't want to spoil it if he is guilty or not guilty, but I deliver that line, and I said, so I actually have to put on, I put on the expressions and stuff like that as if I'm hearing everything from the first time. So about my character, he's basically the audience.